Okay. Oh, I'm gonna knock everything down. You can see, I might have to turn that off. Is that better? Worse? Worse. Okay. Let me get y'all up here so I can see ya. Hi guys. Hi Angela. Welcome, welcome.
Are you talking to me?
Nope, I'm talking to my live viewers who are now live, Nan. Which is why I said going live. Shh. All right. Hi, guys. Okay. Live. You are, oh my goodness, little dandelion, you are early. That's good. All right. How is lighting? Guys, can you see stuff? I know it's kind of dark in this corner, which is why it's hard for me to come back into this corner. Well, did that help? That might have helped. Hopefully. And because I'm not real close to the camera, I have a loud voice anyways, but if you guys can't hear me, make sure you say that. I highly doubt it because, you know, I'm kind of a big mouth. All right. So, how was everyone's weekend? Good, good, good. Hi, Moonfeather. Who else we got? We had 10 people in already. Good, good. We give it just a minute for everybody to kind of come in. Loud and clear, good, perfect. So this is, I think, the first live that I've done down in my little apothecary corner here. Hi, Shadow Sun. Nicole is here. Good, good. Hi. Hi, Alchemy. I don't usually do it here because of two things. First of all, like I said, the lighting is really not great in this room anyways. And in my little corner, my apothecary corner here, there's not a lot of light. I have one. I really need to get one that shines up there or something, or up that way or something. Hi, Miranda and Brad. Yay! I'm so glad you made it, Brad. So I don't do a lot of lives down here. Yes, I am. I love this space. This is where I really do a lot of my witchy workings, is in this space. This is what I call my working altar. So everything that I need is here. You know, I have all my herbs are on this wall here. Hold on, I can turn it and show you all my, well, I don't know if you can see all my herbs. Let me back it up. Okay, let's try that again. I didn't turn off the Wi-Fi, so that hopefully that's the only time. All right, so there's my back wall here. And so all my herbs are on this wall. And then, ooh, let me try to set up the camera again. All right, then I have, hi, Tribal Xanthia. Then my oils are back here. And then goals. Lighting isn't bad. Oh, good, good, good. You also look like an alchemist, my dear. I know. I probably, you know, someday if I actually get some, I don't know what you want to call it, like actual bookwork training, I probably someday will call myself that. I love to work with. Yep, I did. Okay, we'll get there. So this is my space. I really work a lot. Most of my witchy working stuff is here. And then I have two shelves here. This is actually a bar that I got at a garage sale for $5 because it was kind of, it wasn't pretty and it had like stains on the top of it and stuff. And I don't care about pretty. I'm covering it up anyways. And the fact that it has two shelves and it's a working altar height for me is perfect. And I can store stuff underneath, and I got my husband put up shelves for me. So yay. All right. Now I am going to have to figure out, I can't see the chat from there, but I put my computer back here, so hopefully I can figure out the chat back here. All right. I would so love to come apprentice in your witchy room. Oh, that'd be great. Well, Angela, we do have a session to do, so you can be here if you want the session to be here. Hi, Pepper. I like how you put the cabinet to make a corner. It's actually a corner cabinet. It's perfect. It goes to a point in the back, so it's just perfect. I love it. Who else? Kay is here. Hi, Kay and Tammy. My question is for a beginner. What would you suggest for herbs to start with? Hey, good question. That's the first thing I have out, so perfect. Honey Owlette. I love that name. Very cute. Welcome. Okay, so let's start with that. That's a great first question. Oh, see, I took my glasses off and now I'm going to need them. Hi, Michelle. Glad you could make it. So I just kind of, if you've seen my Pinterest, you see that, hi, Marcia, that I kind of gather as much information from all kinds of sources. And so sometimes the sources that you get information from will resonate with you, and sometimes they won't. Hi, Midnight Moon. And Heidi is here. I love it. Hi. So we have 37 in here tonight already. Yay. Good. I can stay for a tad. Good. Well, stay for as long as you can, but you know, life happens. So some stuff will resonate with you, and some stuff you're going to go, I don't really connect with that. Hi, Sherry Bug. Need a good spell for good thrifty witchy shopping mojo. Woo, I love it. So I kind of pulled a whole bunch of different things off of my Pinterest page that I figured we could talk about. And some of this stuff I agree with that they say, and some stuff I agree or I don't agree. And we can talk about why that is too. I say salt, mugwort, cinnamon, clove, rosemary, sage, palo santo. I like the list. It's perfect. I would add, you'll probably, as you begin your workings, you will probably find some that you love, that you just love, that you use. Like for me, and I probably said this before, but I use patchouli in everything. I purposely have to stop myself from using it in the summertime. Once spring hits, Ostara hits, I'm like, okay, put the patchouli away. It's time to, get pretty scents and stuff. But the patchouli, to me, I use it in everything. As soon as fall hits, it's in everything. But you will find certain herbs that you really resonate with, how it makes you feel, that smell brings you back someplace that you like to be. So again, keep in mind, if it works for you, it works. So you got to do some experimenting. I would recommend raiding your kitchen spice shelf to start out with. And then, hi, Brittany. And then from there, taking some certain herbs that you think, oh, you know what? I like the sound of that, or I like that, what everybody says that meaning is. Okay. Guess for me, okay, I will tell you, red pepper flakes, along with others, but that's my signature. So yeah, I couldn't guess that, Pepper. I live in the country, so I try to use what I can wildcraft. Perfect. Love it. Do you have a source you can share for patchouli root? I have been looking. All right, where do I get mine from? Let's see. I will tell you, first I look at my local, yep. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Your local grocery, your local herb place where they would have herbs. Bulk barn store, yep, absolutely. It's okay to buy from there. Through the bulk store, yep. That is not the word I'm trying to use, though. Lori's Lori's. What is Lori's? Lori's Farm Market. Farm markets are a great place. Botanical. I know, guys. I'm so happy that you guys understand that, you know, I'm trying to pull from this menopause brain. I always start there. They have a bunch of herbs, and if they were able to grow some of it this year, sometimes they have herbs that you're looking for. Sometimes they don't have it. And then you kind of have to go online. And it is hard sometimes to find. You want to make sure that you're getting not pesticides, not that. So you're looking for organic to start out with. And you have to, you know, I don't buy herbs from China. Nothing against China, but they do not have the strict rules that we have in place. So if they say organic, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just like stones and stuff. So my patchouli, hold on, let me see. I get it from, now I wonder if his email has changed. This guy used to be on eBay, and then he's not on eBay anymore, but I believe he still has his shop, which is FRENDZCO, Friends Co. I don't know if you can find his shop under that. Now, this email address says enchantedapothecary.com, which is ANENCHANTED apothecary.com. And unfortunately, because I just keep reusing that same bottle, that might be an old label. If that doesn't work out, let me know, and I will find my guy and give it to you. Hi, Keith. So how are we doing? A stroll through the bulk store? Absolutely. Lowe's? Yep, for sure. I grow most of my own herbs as much as possible. I do too, Xanthia. Now, my problem is that we have such a short, in upstate New York, or upstate, in Western New York here, we have a short growing period. So it's hard. Some of them I cannot grow enough of to, you know, keep me saturated throughout the year. And some stuff just doesn't grow here because it's too cold. It just doesn't do it. I've tried to do stuff inside, and I will try again. But my cat loves herbs too, and as a matter of fact, kind of loves to kill the herb. He like digs them right out, and they're done. So, Frontier is good, high quality. Yes, absolutely, Heidi. I have used them before. That's a good. Hi, Keith. Mountain Rose, I have used them before. Mountain Rose is funny. They've gotten a little too big for their britches. And if you find a Mountain Rose sale, they're really good prices still. Some of their stuff, though, is a little pricey. I think they've gotten bigger, so they know that a lot of people go there and they can kind of raise their prices a little bit. The best prices that I find are at farm markets at, who was I just thinking of? Today, I was looking and thinking, oh, I get a better price for, what am I trying to think? And keep in mind, there's little things like, remember I told you about the Himalayan pink salt? You can find that at Walmart. If your Walmart carries it. Now, if you're not in a hunting area where they don't do any hunting, I know my soul sister Jennifer Ball said they don't carry anything hunting in her Walmart. But in the hunting section, under stuff for salt licks, I got an entire basket. And hold on one second, and I'll show you. Maybe if I still have it. Yes. I got, actually it was a heck of a lot. It was a 1 pound bucket. But this is all from Walmart. This is Himalayan pink salt. And it's sold for deer licks. Salt licks for deer. And it's 100% genuine pink salt. And I think I paid like $4 or something for this 1 pound bucket of it. Right, where are we? Let's see. Buy seeds and start growing them with the seasons. Absolutely, I have an herb garden every year. As a matter of fact, I still have dried herbs that I have to do my thing with because I just haven't had time. My battery died. Oh, hi, Kay. I'm glad you're back, though. Mountain Rose is great. That website doesn't work. Hold on. Let's see. Where'd it go? It jumped on me. Shoot, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Hold on. Enchanted apothecary. Yes, 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 yes. I believe so. Hold on, let me see. Because the one I know, the guy runs it, but. Oh, no, this does not look like the same. Custom products, events, no, they don't really, for somebody called Enchanted Apothecary, it doesn't really look like they have a whole lot of herb stuff. I will look and post it underneath here, or I will post it in the Facebook group. My guy that I get most of my patchouli from. Right. Yarrow rose hips, both flowering, blueberry branches, raspberry leaves. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Bella. I've been trying to dry my own seeds and use them. Yep, absolutely. Top list for beginning was French lavender, rose, mugwort, French lavender. Now, you're getting fancy on me. Rosemary, red pepper, cinnamon, calendula, salt, bay, and orange. That gives a deep insight into the work I'm drawn towards. Absolutely. I've heard great things. Yes, mountain rose herbs are absolutely, their quality is outstanding. Just be careful. Some of their stuff, I don't know if it's lately or what, but I've looked lately and a couple items I was like, whoa, they are really pricey with. But I think because they're so big now. This is moving really fast. Here's an idea. Sometimes you may be able to pay a witch for at least a 2-ounce package to start with. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Live in a condo space. Oh, wait. Where do you buy your crystals? All right. Well, we're talking about herbs today. It depends on what kind of crystal it is. I have a couple different places that I go to. My crystal skulls, I actually listed where I get my crystal skulls, and it's a special lady on the video that I did tonight. Certified herbalist. I'm better at wild crafting than growing herbs. Yay! I know. I wish I could do that, Heidi. I have this app, and I was saying there's an app now that will identify plants for you. I just don't know how much to trust it. So when I'm like, okay, is this really what it says it is? I don't know. It's a little nerving. Okay. I think I'm caught up. I think. If you guys have actual questions for me, make sure you put them in capital letters for me, because it's hard sometimes when the chat's moving so fast. We have 45 in here tonight, so. Okay, so let me tell you. The first thing that this woman, which of course I did not print out her list here, or I mean where she was coming from. But the first thing that she recommends is sugar. This is 11 easy ingredients, easy to find ingredients every aspiring witch needs. Sugar. It says sugar is used primarily as an attracting agent in magic, sweetening people to your wishes, whether they be potential lovers or business customers. In practice, used to sweeten a business and draw in more customers, sprinkle a little sugar in front of the entrance to work in order to draw people in. Add cinnamon for a boost, as cinnamon is considered extremely lucky. Okay. Yes, I like sugar. I do use sugar for sweetie kind of love spells, stuff like that. I do not, is this, seems to me, hold on, I'm going to clean this, guys, sorry. Seems to me that I would not be dropping sugar in my doorway and stuff, because it makes everything sticky. And then you get ants, and then, so I wouldn't recommend like dropping sugar on your ground on purpose, but I do use it in certain spells, like love spells and that kind of thing. And also I will say I don't use sugar in anything that I'm burning. So I don't use it in incense stuff. Burnt sugar smells like horrible. That's how you get ants. Thank you, Jessica. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. Okay, mint. I could not agree anymore. And not just because I have an overabundance. This is just my peppermint. And I haven't finished grinding all of it from this year. Where's my regular mint? Oh, wait. Do I have it down here? I bet. No, holly. All right. So I try to have them in alphabetical order, but that doesn't always work. I have a huge, huge jar of peppermint. Or I mean of regular garden mint, which any mint works for this stuff. Mint can be used to make your charms work faster or to better prepare your mind and intentions to be aligned with the intentions of a charm. Can be used in a spray or sprinkle to increase the mental vibrations of a place. So putting it in a school or office is ideal. In practice, mix a teaspoon of dried mint leaf in a cup of boiling water and let it come to room temperature. Add the cup of water to your hair as a rinse after you wash your hair and rinse it. When you rinse the mint tea out, make sure to scrub your scalp thoroughly. This will stimulate mental activity and remove dullness. All right, that's not one I have heard before, but you know, yep, cheap herbal tea bags, right? Yes, I make tinctures also, absolutely. Tinctures is a great way to keep your herbs for longer. If you, the rule for tinctures is, of course, I say everything is at hand, and it is if I can find it. But let's say any container that you're going to use, 3/4 of it should be the herb. Okay. 3/4 of it should be the herb and then 1/4 alcohol. And it depends on the herb how long you leave it in there. You shake it every day. And after, I usually wait like a month because sometimes to me, it's not strong enough. I really like my tinctures really strong. And then you drain it through a cheesecloth or a really thin, like here is, I use my my metal colander here, and that will get out a lot of the big chunks anyways of herbs, and then you just keep the tincture. I use here's what I use, the cheapest vodka I can find. Do I have some left? I just did a bunch recently. Literally like wino vodka, because it doesn't have to, and now I'm showing you all my ass. Isn't that terrible? It doesn't have to be expensive to work. It just has to be alcohol. Yep. I think I used the last of it. Literally the cheapest vodka you could find. You don't have to use that. You can use a different kind. There's some stuff like when I make cough syrup and stuff, I do that with brandy. That's a better thing for, yep, brandy. There you go. Thanks. Yeah. Woohoo. There's some stuff that I use 90%. Yep. What else was I going to say? What's over here? There's something that I use this for. Oh, this is my brandy. Okay. So brandy works good. It depends on what you're making though. If you are doing a tincture that is, for me, like if I'm using mint and stuff that I want it to be a light flavor or a light smell, I use vodka because it doesn't have its own smell. So it kind of doesn't add to what I'm trying to do. If anything dark, if I'm using patchouli, if I'm using yarrow, if I'm using hops, tobacco, anything like that, not that I would do a tobacco tincture, but I have used tobacco for joint salve stuff. Use what you like to drink. Yep, I've heard that. I've heard that. Except like in my case, I'm not a real big drinker. So I probably drink like 3 glasses of alcohol a year. So although I probably, if I had to, I would drink vodka. So that goes along right. How are we doing? Grind up eggshells for magical chalk. Yep, absolutely. Bye, honey owl. I'm about to go get a drink. Yeah, right? Me too. Okay, so that's good. Now, rosemary. Rosemary is one I would have. Actually, essential oils are misused and not understood. Tobacco make a natural pesticide? No kidding. I didn't know that. I don't have a whole lot of tobacco because I don't live in North Carolina anymore. But the tobacco that I have, I picked myself and dried out myself and ground myself and stuff because I don't trust it. You can use, if you're going to use somebody else's tobacco, I would use like the stuff that they don't put in cigarettes and stuff, you know. Right, rosemary. Rosemary. I have to say, rosemary is one that I use for a lot of different things. Let's see what she says. Rosemary got its name, I don't care where it got its name, meaning dew of the sea, and it's considered to have powerful properties across a wide range of magical traditions. Those typically used for protection and cleansing rituals, which is what I use it for usually. And I use it for memory, but I don't obviously use it enough. It can be placed under pillows and pockets, secured in infant bedrooms to protect children from negative forces and energy. In practice, keep a sprig of rosemary by your heart and it will always remain open. Whatever. I don't know who wrote this. I have to go back and look, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with what she's saying. But is rosemary easy to grow? I would say yes, because I'm horrible at most things. But rosemary, I can usually get my rosemary going every year. Lavender is not so much. I tend to drown plants or like dehydrate them completely. And lavender really needs to be much more on the dry side, and I tend to drown it like every year. I gotta put sand in where I plant it. But roll your own tobacco. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Hi, Amethyst. Good to have you here. Vodka Mother. I knew I liked you for some reason. I am still learning, so any information, how so? Whoops, I missed something. Let me know if you need anything from me, guys. Nature's Spirit is good tobacco. Yes, thank you. American Spirit cigarettes are an easy way to get organic tobacco for yes. Good. Basil is easy to grow. Made some rosemary saltwater spray for my room a few months ago. I need to make more when I can. Good for cleansing spaces. Yes. And I will tell you, too, back on the mint, that I have a mint spray that I use every summer because spiders hate mint. And a lot of the bugs don't like mint. So I always kind of make a tincture from it and spray that. Even stink bugs don't like it very much. Now, they don't hate it to the point where they won't come in out at all, but it did slow them down. So, any tips on working with herbs in a limited space? Rosemary is great for protection. Yes. In a limited space. So I would say only buy the amount that you're using. So I don't know if you have a local farmer's market or a local, even a lot of the grocery stores now keep herbs, like fresh herbs growing, and they have a little, container of fresh herbs. Back again. Get 4 or 5 different herbs to start out with that you want, like one protection herb, one for psychic connections, one for, get a couple for a couple different intentions that you set a lot. One prosperity, and just keep a couple and keep it simple. You don't have to have what I have, guys. I mean, believe me, I started out, this cupboard here is what I started out with way back here, but I know you can't really see that, sorry. And I think I started out with the stuff that I stole from my husband's kitchen. So, and then I started growing some, and then I figured out you could order some, and then I kind of found a couple local shops I could get some from. So I'll tell you, star anise is one of my favorites. I love star anise. I use star anise in a heck of a lot of stuff. it's funny, for fall and winter, to me anyways, I don't know if the rest of you are like this, but for fall and winter, I have 4 or 5 that I use a lot. And then for spring and summer, I have maybe 4 or 5 that I use a lot. And then a lot of these, I just a little bit here, a little bit there. If I see it on the shelf, I'll be like, oh yeah, I can throw that in there. So that helps a lot. My glasses are getting fogged up. What in the world? So how we doing, guys? The chat's rolling, so I'm sorry if I'm not catching stuff. Rosemary can substitute for a whole lot. Absolutely. Mexican grocery stores, yes. The Mexican section, that's where I get most of my rose water. That's a really great place to find rose water. Tip for growing lavender is to mix 50-50 potting soil and sand. Thank you, Brad. Part of my problem is, in order to have full sun, I have to have it in the back. And because the chickens are back there and they drive me crazy, every time I go back there, they're like, please give me some, Mom. I want some. I want some. So every time I go back, they make me feel guilty. So I kind of stay out of the back. But that's where I have full sun. So I really need to plant it back there and just get over it. But they're so cute. And I'm telling you, I don't know if you've ever had chickens, guys, but they talk to you. Literally, they talk to you. Bye, Marcia. As soon as they see you, they start up and they're blah, 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 and they start talking to each other, and then they come out to talk to you. So they're hilarious. All right, Rosemary, got it. Rose water, which was the next thing I was going to talk about. Mexican grocery stores, or the Mexican section in your grocery store, a lot of times will have rose water. It's very inexpensive usually. I'm all right still. This bottle was $3. So that one is pretty easy to find. And I use rose water a lot in the spring and summer. All right, what else? Garlic. I think somebody was saying garlic, right? Though typically thought of as an agent against vampires. Who wrote this? How do you make sprays without oils? With alcohol, vodka, or distilled water. So I use a little bit of vodka. It depends on what kind of spray it is. If you're not making a tincture, if you're talking about like my mint spray for the rooms and stuff, I use about 10% probably of vodka, and then your herbal mixture, and then distilled water on top of it. And because the vodka will keep it good for quite a while. This perennial has a number of other magical uses for beginners in magic, as well as more advanced practitioners. The same healing properties that it has in medicine are useful in magic practice to remove negativity and purify thoughts and places. In practice, a quick and easy use for garlic is to burn the skills. Burn the skills. Yep, you can tell I'm not a cook. Burn the skills on a fire or on charcoal in order to keep money in your home. I don't know if I would do it inside, though. Well, I guess you do it in the stove, whatever. For a spell to eliminate negativity in a bowl, add cloves of garlic to vinegar. Leave it overnight. If the garlic has turned dark purple or black, oh, I have heard this. There was a lot of negative energy, and do it again with fresh garlic and vinegar for one more night. If it looks fine, then you don't have to redo it. Flush it down the toilet to dispose of it. So I have heard that before. Garlic, cloves, and vinegar. Put them in a bowl and wait overnight. When you wake up, if it's black or purple, it sucked in a lot of that negative energy. Do it again the next night. And once it is not real that dark purple or black, then it kind of got rid of a lot of that negative energy hanging around. I have heard that before. How we doing? I would not do it inside. Thank you, Pepper. Rose water is pretty easy to make, and it's kind of a fun. Yes, it is if you have roses. But again, in New York, it depends on the year. Now, last year, my roses did great. This year, not so much. So I'm kind of running low on my rose petals this year. Yeah, see, running a little low, but that's all right. Is there a time limit on how many words I can input at a time? Oh, is there a limit? Yes, there is. I think it's 200K. Be careful the herbs in sprays. They clog the spray. Oh, yes, absolutely. And actually, you can use essential oils as long as they are like pure essential oils. You have to be careful who you get them through and that kind of thing too. My daughter-in-law might be able to sit on her own tonight. Yay! Need a lot of garlic. I don't have any roses at all, so I'd have to buy rose petals. Yeah. Kay, did I miss something? Hold on. My daughter-in-law might be able to sit on her own. Oh, I'm thinking baby daughter-in-law, Kay. I didn't even see it was you. I'm so glad. That is awesome that she might be able to sit on her own. Congratulations. Yay. And that sounds like it's going well. Okay. Now, next. How we doing, guys? How are we doing on time? Holy crap, we're only 36 minutes. I'm only on page 2, guys. All right, so I am not going to read all the chat unless it's in caps, okay, guys? Just because we got to try to get through some of this. Holy moly. So sage. Now, all right, hold on. Let me read what she says, and then I'll tell you why I have a problem with sage. Sage is an herb of wisdom and healing, can be used in a variety of forms for magical practice. A simple tea made with a teaspoon of sage and a cup of boiling water can be added to a bath in order to destroy illusions and resolve problems. It can also be added to a charm bag to make your expectations about a charm or spell be more realistic. In practice, smudge the house with bundled sage and it will feel lighter. This gets rid of negative energy that has accumulated. You can also do this to yourself and give you a little clear out from a hectic day. That's true. You don't use sage at all for anything except for eating. Thank you, Xanthia. And is that a specific reason? Is that because of so here's the thing. Everybody starts talking about it's endangered, and it's not that it's actually endangered. It is because the native people who are the ones who originally, learned how to use sage or knew how to use sage to smudge, which is their word, they are having a hard time finding it growing in the wild. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if somebody knows differently, they feel that they should be able to pick it from the wild because they do it right. They harvest it, they grow it, all that kind of stuff. And they are having a hard time because so many people all of a sudden are saying they want to use sage. So I don't use white sage. I use regular garden sage, which does exactly the same thing. It is used to cleanse the air. There's all kinds of stuff that sage is used for, but I grow my own. So, oh yeah, there we go. Okay, now I took my glasses off. I'm looking for them up here. Hold on. Okay. Various forms of sage and their uses. I was growing sage over the summer, but it isn't white sage. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Any sage. You can use any sage. All sage has the same properties for healing, for clearing energy, for clearing out negative energy, all that kind of stuff. All that sage has the same properties. So you can use garden sage. You can use white sage if you've grown it. I would not buy white sage anymore, which I can't grow it here. So I have a tiny, where is it? I have a tiny little bit left from when I first started learning about this. Oh, wait, you know what? This is not white sage anymore. This is just ground up my garden sage. So I don't have any left. Good. How we doing? White sage is the most common. I prefer desert sage to white sage myself. I wish I could see all the different kinds of sage, but again, in New York, garden sage, that's all that grows here. I grow my own sage. Also, I grow white sage, but I don't eat the white sage. I like to mix my sage with other things like lavender. Absolutely, I do too. Lavender, sweetgrass. Although, did I hear somebody say sweetgrass now? There's a, maybe a shortage of sweetgrass, or there's a problem with the sweetgrass now. I try to keep up on it as much as I can, guys. I will tell you that if I know that there's an issue, either with too many people sourcing it, or it's starting to die out, like sandalwood. I know sandalwood is not a good thing anymore because they're having a problem with the trees, are, you know, there's not enough. So find an alternative. Palm oil, that is a horrible thing. I will tell you, and this has nothing to do with usually with witchy stuff, but palm oil is in a whole bunch of stuff, and we should not be using palm oil for anything because the trees are disappearing. They're done. Wish I could grow sage. What's the best environment to grow it in? All I can tell you, Kay, is my garden sage is okay and grows during the spring and summer. But there's no way I could grow like white sage or desert sage or something. So I'm assuming real warm and kind of dry and arid. But love sweetgrass. I have a tribe only 30 minutes away. Awesome. We have desert sage bushes in our yard. Perfect. That works. We are trying to grow every herb we can because of all the endangered plants. Absolutely. And that's the bottom line is, you know, if you can grow it, grow it. That's why I start by going to local places. I go to farm markets. I go to, you know, my local, like, home goods kind of store. Not home goods. That's not what I'm trying to say. I will ask other witches. I have someone who lives out in California that will go and find some eucalyptus for me and gives me eucalyptus. And I give her stuff that we have. I give her like willow and willow bark, and what else do I give her? Some of my peppermint and that kind of thing. Can you use dried sage too? Absolutely. But try not to buy it if you can help it, Johnny. That cuts me out. Very humid here. We grow our sage inside, both of them. We have a mini greenhouse inside the house. Ah, Cynthia, I want to see your house. I ordered my sage from this website and lavender. Okay. I can see that for sure. I would assume that would be okay. Again, I would be careful though, because I don't know that website, so I'm sure it's probably fine. But I would be careful because there's a lot of people online that like claim to grow it locally or claim to get it from a clean source or something like that. And really, the bottom line is grow as much as you can. Grow as much as you can. And if it's something that you can't grow, the next step would be find it locally. See if it's in your farmers markets or something, then they're growing it. They're not, you know, buying it from somebody else. And then as a last resort, if you can't find it, like for me, there's no way I'm finding my patchouli around here 99% of the time. I get lucky once in a while, but usually it's not going to grow around here. Then you can go online, but go online to places that you know are paying attention to where they get it from or are growing it. Kendra, we should do an herb swap. That's a great idea. I love that idea. So, you know, great idea. If you, like, I have mint coming out of my ass. So if anybody wants mint, I know I have pictures of my huge mint mound at this point because mint takes everything over. I have mint all day long and twice on Sunday. I have tried to come up with so many different uses for mint. I have it everywhere. So if you grow your own or you have some extra, let's start a swap in the group, okay, on the Facebook page. It's a great idea. Yes, we keep increasing your herb area. We started out small. It's huge now. What are your go-to protective herbs? Okay, protection herbs for me are rosemary, rosemary, rosemary. Lavender is very protective also, and it's got a nice smell, but I have to say, lavender to me, I'm not a flowery, nope, that's not what I thought it was. I'm not a flowery, perfumey kind of person. So the Facebook page is, hopefully if Angela's on, she'll post it. It is Willow Winds. No, I forgot it. Willow Winds Thrifty Witchin'. Is that it? Gosh, this seems like horrible. I think the light sucks. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. Thank you, Angela. There it is. There's the Facebook page. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, so go to protective lavender, rosemary. Got to stand in front of them. Sorry, guys. Lilac, but good luck. I do my own lilac. Oh, I will tell you what. Here we go. Okay. See these? I don't know if you can see them. I might have to take them out. These are sweet gumballs, witch burrs. Well, that you make witch burrs out of. These are grown mostly in the South. My dad lives in North Carolina, and so he sends me my share and plus more of sweet gumballs. You can take a couple sweet gumballs, melt beeswax, and whatever herb you want that intention for. A lot of people use them for hexes and binding spells. I use them for protection. They're great. They're great, great, great for protection. And you can put them, I would not put them in like a mojo bag or anything because they can be sharp. Those little things can actually be sharp. But you can burn them. I throw them in my cauldron once in a while just to clear the air and protect that stuff around me. Or, you know, start a bonfire outside and throw them in the bonfire outside for that protection. Smoke to come up and kind of do everything all over. I've used witch burrs a lot, and I think partly because, again, you kind of use what you have. So because I have a source, my dad can go outside and when it's the season and sends me a box of them and they're real light for like, you know, $3 or something. I have a bunch of them, so I can use them. You know, look at, you should, if you don't have herb books, magical herb books on you, this is, to me, this book here is that's the first book I start with. If you don't have any books though, look at my Pinterest page, guys. I've got boards that say Book of Shadows herb properties. I have a couple different herb boards because when I started out, I started throwing them everywhere. Apothecary needs, I think, is one. And then there's another herb something. But look at my Pinterest page. I try to gather as much up as I can and put it all on my on my Pinterest pages so that if I'm not at home and I'm out and I'm thinking, oh shit, I wanted to do that thing, that protection spell for someone, I can go, okay, what, and my mind is doing its menopause thing. I can go, what the hell should I get? I have rosemary at home. What else would I do? I don't know. Let's look it up. Pinterest is awesome. What else? How are we doing? Hold on. I love rosemary. I put a few drops of lavender in my bath many times. Last time I got head to toe hives. Oh my gosh, Kay, be careful. And once you get a allergy to something, it gets worse every time you use it, usually. So be careful. What is the name you use on Pinterest? I couldn't find it. So I think it's under Willow Wind Sterelli. So it would be, and keep in mind, guys, part of the reason that you guys all have a hard time finding my Willow Wind stuff is because of the way I spell Willowind. Make sure you're looking at how I spell my name. It's W-Y-L-L-O-W, then another W, so 2 W's in the middle, Y-N-D. I don't use the I's, and I use 2 W's in the middle, and that's numerological. That's why I do that. So Willowind Storelli. Storelli is S-T-O-R-E-L-L-I, which is store, spell the word store, and then L-L-I. And if it's not that, it's under Jennifer Storelli, but I think it's Willowind now. And I took my glasses off again, sorry. All right. I need some of those cool witch spurs you have. Hey, CJ, message me on Facebook and I'll send you some. You know, we can make a trade of something. Willowind, I have herbal magic. Good, Johnny. That's a great book. Jen, Willowind Storelli. I believe I found it that way. It's under Jennifer Storelli. Okay, there you go. It's under Jennifer Storelli. Thank you, Angela. You are a lifesaver. They're everywhere in California. Are they really? I call it resin. Not sure if it's correct, though. Resin. Oh, you call what resin? Did I miss something? Hold on. Carl Neal, Michael Tierra, Rosemary, Gladstar. Yep. I've heard of a lot of those. I like David Hoffman a lot. Paul Barrel. I love Ellen Everett Hopman. I like her a lot. She's a witch who's an herbalist. And is this the first one? Oh, yep. I won the first book I ever got from her. I won. And then I was like, oh, she's awesome. I like her. Let's see. I saw a question. I swear I saw a question. Nope. Not finding the Facebook page. Can someone that knows it post it? Oh, there you go. Thank you, Angela. Okay. How are we doing, guys? We are at 52 minutes. Okay. Okay, so like I said, watch your sources. Watch even the information that I put on my Pinterest page. Because I put it on my Pinterest page, I promise you I have not looked at all of them. I just am like, oh, I might need that someday. Oh, I might need that someday. So if it works for you, it works. Willowind's Thrifty Witching is the name of the group if the link doesn't work. Absolutely. So read it over. If there is something in there you don't agree with, set it to the side. You don't have to agree with everything that I agree with or everything that someone else agrees. Just because they wrote an article doesn't mean they know shit. They might not know anything. They might just, the reason I pulled this one out is because I was like, okay, I like a lot of the herbs she said, but there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm like, no, that's not what I use that for. Or like she talks about sandalwood. Sandalwood, you should not be getting sandalwood anywhere anymore unless you can grow it. And from what I understand, good luck, because I think you have to be in South America pretty much. I think. But I could be wrong. I just know it doesn't grow here. So she talks about that. No. Like I said, I found a person on the internet was mostly wrong about everything. See? Exactly. There is stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And then I'll go kind of look up somebody that I actually trust. Nope. Not even close. They have no idea. So you really, it's okay to be a Pinterest addict. I am that. But I will tell you that not everything that I pin, I have verified, that I have even looked at. A lot of times I'm like, oh, yep, someday I might need that. I'll put that in that group. And I don't look at it. So just because it's in there doesn't mean I'm like, oh, yes, this person is great. Nope. Basil. I actually use basil. I use basil a lot. Basil is a multi-purpose herb that you can grow. Good for bringing good fortune and money and love. I use it in prosperity spells, or prosperity incense. Yep, absolutely. Basil can be used for money, prosperity, and love workings. I don't know. I haven't used basil for Pinterest. It's not the gospel. Hell yeah, isn't that the truth? Yes, I grow lemon basil and lime basil. Have you ever had lime basil? I discovered lime basil last year and I love lime basil. First of all, it smells incredible. It's like my new addiction. There's something about lime basil that I could smell it like all day long. Where is it? Come on, come on, come on. Garden safe. No. And because I'm standing here, I'll never be able to find it. And then it'll be like right in front of me. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, here it is. Oh, look. Oh, I don't know. You know. Yep. That's how. I'm going to let you smell it. Ready? How's it smell? It's Monday. Thank goodness. Oh, it smells so good. I love it. We need smell-o-vision. It smells like a tablet screen. Ah! We need smell-o-vision. I really need to have that. Smell is a big part of what I do. So here's a yummy herb that is somewhat rare to find, but so good. Grapefruit mint. Oh, I haven't heard of that one, but that sounds really good too. Now I'm going to have to look for that one. Probably won't grow here either because here I am in New York. Okay, so basil. I use basil a lot in prosperity. I've never heard of it for love, but it, absolutely could be love. I grow different kinds of mint too. Peppermint and, oh my goodness, my garden mint is, like I said, it's at this point, it's a mound of mint. Basil gives me more protection vibes. There you go. Good. Little dandelion, thank you. Awesome. If it gives you protection vibes, use it for protection. Don't forget, what do I say? If it works for you, it works. And that's exactly it. You could read every book on my shelf. I probably have 30 books. And if not one of them says it's good for protection, who gives a shit? You feel good for protection with basil? Use it for protection. Absolutely use it. Please use it. All of these books, they might as well say at the very beginning, this is what I use it for. Or this is what studies, a whole bunch of people have said they feel this vibe from it. Now, other than medicinally, like if you're actually going to make a tincture and use the tincture, listen to an actual herbalist person. I don't think I would say, oh, I think that belladonna is good for hemorrhoids. Don't do that. Because if you're going to put it on your body or in your body, actually go to an herbalist who knows, please. Other than that, for spell work that you're going to burn, even burning stuff, be just a tiny bit careful. As far as make sure that if you're going to burn something that it doesn't turn into a poisonous gas when it's burning. But basil, awesome. If you feel it's for protection, it's for protection for you. Absolutely. Okay. You guys get what I mean though. You're not stupid. I just am talking about just be careful that it's not like toxic in any way if it's getting burned. Okay. All right. Hopefully we got that. I know. I want grapefruit mint for next year too now. I hope, well, I shouldn't even say that because mint grows, if it's like most mints, it'll grow anywhere. Anywhere. I start the greenhouses outside February, sometimes January, and I will plant all of these seeds. Where do you live, Xanthia? You have to live someplace warm, right? Can I have a dream potion including mugwort lucid travels? Can you have? You mean you want a recipe for a dream potion to drink? Is that what you're talking about? Or you want an incense? Or you want a topical aromatherapy? Or there's a lot of different, potion is kind of a broad term. So narrow it in a little bit. Live in Southwest Missouri. Okay, so yeah, someplace warm. I was going to say, in January and February, I don't think I could get like the best thing I have growing to grow for me if I had it inside of nothing. Forget it. It's like by the time February hits around here, it's usually negative degrees or 1, 2, 3. I just harvested my datura for my flying bomb. Yay! Good for you. Awesome. I have mine. I put into a roller this year. It smells so good. And smell. And I have, what do I have in mine? I listed it. I can't even read it. It's too little for me to read. But I have, okay. The other thing is, as you are experimenting with herbs, I highly suggest, not that it has to be a girl on fire, but I highly suggest you start some kind of journal. See, apothecary book. So when I do a spell that works, or if I make an incense that I'm like, oh, that was awesome. I love that incense. I put it in here. I put my own little tabs in here, A, B, C, D, 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 D. So when Samhain comes around and I'm like, oh, what was that Samhain incense recipe that I absolutely adored? Oh, look, here it is. And I write it. Because write it someplace, at least. I have a couple different of these. I told you I have tons of steno notebooks. So it starts in my steno notebooks. And then if it works and I liked it, it gets transferred into here. And this is the one that I keep on my altar over here. So that when I'm over here and I'm going, okay, what was that? Whatever. Then put it into your actual notebook that you're going to keep. That I would highly suggest doing that, because you're going to, be trying out a whole bunch of different things. And you're going to come across something that you're like, oh, that was amazing. What did I do? And if you're anything like me, you're never going to remember what you did 4 times ago, How are we doing? Okay. Ritual or spell recipes you can share. Okay. And speaking of potions, how do I make them? Again, potions is a broad term. So it depends on what you mean by potions. But hold on. Catnip, wild violet, lilac, dandelion, black walnut, pine, cedar, lavender. Yay, perfect. Herb garden. But my sage and rosemary and parsley died. That's okay, Johnny. It happens, honey. We have 80 acres here. Oh my goodness, Xanthia. I love it. I love the property, but I don't like living here, if that makes sense. Missouri, yeah, I can see that would make sense. I have 5.5 acres out in, it's still in New York. It was in Prattsburg, which is this teeny tiny little town that was far away from everything. I loved it for so many reasons. I loved it, and for so many reasons I hated it. Everything after 6, we have one tiny little grocery store in town, and everything closed at 6 o'clock. So if we then needed to get to a grocery store after 6 o'clock, you had to drive 45 minutes to get to the grocery store. So that was like, and then to try to find work, I had to drive. And our internet sucked because it was this little local company. Actually, we really didn't have much internet. We had dial-up still, like into the 2000s. Okay. Also, before digesting anything, make sure you do your research. Yes, thank you. Yes. Not repeating myself, but do any of you have access to wintergreen? I'm trying to think. It's been a couple of years since I've grown wintergreen, but yes, absolutely. It is amazing. I don't like it here because it's the Bible Belt and people terrorize me because I'm not Christian. I'm sorry, Xanthia. it's hard when you're in that kind of a community. I know I had a hard time in North Carolina too. And North Carolina is not even as bad as, like, I'm sure Missouri or Georgia or someplace even more south. But North Carolina was hard enough. That was like, give me a break. Sometimes you're thinking, you people are so damn close-minded. It's insane. And like I said, it was the only place I'd ever gone to. I mean, I grew up in New York, not New York City, but I grew up in New York, and it was the only place I ever went to that every single patient almost asks you where you go to church. Where do you go to church? They don't ask that in New York. I'm like, none of your damn business. So I started out by usually saying from my house. And then they're, oh, is your husband a pastor? Nope. And then, you know, and like I said, I don't hide, but I haven't hid my religion for years and years now, but I also don't really want to get into it with patients. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, in a small town, the only openly gay person in which, oh, Brad, that's terrible. Oh, you have to, oh, I feel for you, honey. I really do. The other thing I can tell you is look on Witchfox. It's not as updated as it used to be, although it's still pretty good. I was just looking on it for somebody recently. Because they actually will list the pagan communities in your area. And sometimes it might be like an hour drive, a couple hour drive to get there, but sometimes it's worth it, just like once a month or something, to get together with people who aren't, yes, thank you, who aren't so stick up their ass, you know. Sometimes you just have to be with somebody that you can go, oh, these people are driving me crazy, and they know what you're talking about. So, okay. All right. So I hate to say this. Holy cow. It's been an hour already, and we really didn't go through shit yet. This is just the beginning. So I see this as a long-running series, just like our shadow work series was, because there is so much information. And obviously, I'm not an herbalist. So as far as I'm concerned, I can give you tips. I can give you some recipes. I can let you know what herbs do for me. I can tell you how I make my own incenses. I can tell you how I make tinctures. That kind of stuff I can do. I will not be telling you, I don't know how to say this. I can tell you a lot. I can tell you a lot of stuff when you're a beginner, especially. I feel very comfortable doing that. I am still going to tell you, though, make sure that you double check anything that you do. Now, if I tell you I've used this in my incense, this is what I've done for my incense, I don't have any problem with you recreating that and using it, because I'm not going to say that to you unless I actually have done that. And I actually have done the research myself. I don't know if it's something that you are going to put in your body, if you're going to digest it. I probably will not tell you recipes to digest things. Although a couple that I have used a lot, like I don't mind, like my elderberry syrup. Well, mine. Everybody has an elderberry syrup recipe. Once you're in the witchy community, you kind of make your own, and then you kind of tweak it a little bit. But stuff that I know for sure is okay, fine. I don't have a problem with doing that. But if you ask me for specific recipes for digestion that I have not used before, I will tell you to go look it up or talk to an herbalist, okay? Other than that, I am an open book, and you guys know I love to share. I will share everything I can share with you, just because the herbalist stuff, all this apothecary stuff, all the herbal stuff, is stuff that can really harm you if you start doing stuff that you don't really know about. So I'm less comfortable. I will tell you that disclaimer ahead of time. Okay? So, how'd we do? Okay. I had to switch accounts. Oops. No problem, Kendra. Oh, Carmen, I'm sorry you just got home and I'm trying to wrap up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. on the page, on the Facebook page, I'm going to kind of break up some of the herbal things that we could do into a couple different subjects. And I'll have a poll for the next herbal, which might be tomorrow. All right, let me think about it. I'll post tonight when the next one is going to be. But as far as, okay, let's break it down, because this was just kind of the introduction, which is incorporates a whole lot, right? So we'll break it down a little bit as to, okay, let's say how to make your own incense. That's one whole video. Because I'm a talker and you guys are all talkers too, which is awesome. Oh my gosh. My husband paused it. Hold on. Listening to Chris Matthews. All of a sudden my TV unpauses. Okay. So we have a lot to discuss. So we need to break it down into smaller chunks. Okay. So how to make your own incense, how to make your own tea, how to make your own soaps, how to make your own, what else do I do? Aromatherapy stuff. I'm good at aromatherapy stuff too, because I love the oils. Now, I was going to say, see, all this stuff is beginning stuff. I would recommend, if you're starting to work with herbs and you want to work with herbs, get a mortar and pestle. If you can. You don't have to have one, and I'll tell you why. There's other, but I collect them as well as everything else, right? They're fairly inexpensive. You can usually go to like Home Goods. Look out at thrift stores. This is one of my favorite ones. It's my cast iron one. I love it. This, I'll tell you, this one is my workhorse. It's marble and it's bigger. And so like I still have, this is what I used for my Samhain incense. I have to burn the rest of that. I would get one if you can. If you can't, yep, a dollar store for $3. There you go. They're pretty cheap. If you have this is the modern version. This is just like there's a little blade in there, and you set the motor on top and press down, and it so I use that for certain things that are harder to break up sometimes, although usually I don't even bother unless I'm doing a lot of something. If I'm harvesting a whole bunch of mint or something, I use that because it's a lot easier than trying to do it a little bit at a time. But if I'm making incense, I do it in my mortar and pestle. So I would recommend getting one if you can. If you can't, kitchen coffee grinders. Yes, coffee grinders work. Kitchen blenders and stuff work. Although I would keep one separate for your witchy use, because I have one that I know I can digest stuff that I've used that, and I have one that I will never be digesting this stuff. So Magic Bullet. Yep, there you go. Perfect. The electric ones are good for roots. Yep. Cinnamon, my cinnamon, I like the electric ones. Although I like to do cinnamon by hand because it takes a while and your intention really gets into there if you do it by hand. Or if my sons are home, I make my sons do it. I'm always like, hey, how about we do some cinnamon tonight? They're, Mom. Rolling pin and herbs in a Ziploc bag. There you go. Perfect, Jackie. Pepper. I don't know if you want to be called Jackie on here. Perfect. That works too. So let's say you can't find one for a while. Put them in a plastic bag. Take a rolling pin and roll them right out. That works too. I would recommend getting a mortar and pestle if you can. Just because they're pretty cheap usually. I have a blend tech, which really blends everything hard. And I bought 2 containers, one for witchy, one for kitchen food and one for spells. Perfect. And exactly. Just be careful that you're not putting stuff like resins and that kind of thing into a blender or a, chopper or anything that you're going to be eating out of. What you put in there later. So you want to make sure it's separate. Okay. And I'll kind of start to break this stuff up into different categories, and we can start to do that. And we'll talk about all the other subjects everybody liked too, which is awesome. I don't mind. That's good. It kind of breaks the Amazon for all things. There you go. See? It breaks up the monotony of doing one thing for a while. That's one thing after in the shadow work series. I noticed after a while, it's like, okay, let's take a break from shadow work for a while, because doing the same thing, it kind of gets to me after a little bit. But so we can go back and forth. I figured we'll do Tarot Tuesdays. And we'll talk about tarot and beginner stuff in tarot, and even stuff like some people are just getting their first tarot decks and they don't know how to cleanse it and charge it and connect to it. So we can do that on Tarot Tuesdays. We can start with meanings. We can do like little tips for if you're reading for someone, all that kind of stuff. So we'll do Tarot Tuesdays, and then definitely at least one day, probably more than that, for herbal stuff, because it's such a big topic. And then I want to do one day a week for Sabbath, for whatever Sabbath is coming up. So we have Yule is next. I know, I can't believe it's coming up already, but it is. It is. What do I do with my glasses? Here we go. Okay, how we doing? What time? 7:30 Eastern Standard Time is the normal time. And I will post on our Facebook group if I'm going to be a little bit earlier or a little bit later. I'm fading fast, my new friends. Going to hit the sack. That's okay, Kay. I'm out of here too, honey. Won't be able to do Thursday nights. That's okay, Xanthia. If there is a subject that you want to make sure you're here for, then let me know, and I will try not to do them on Thursday nights then, okay? Yes, please, meanings of cards. Awesome. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so tomorrow is a Tarot Tuesday, guys, and we'll start with beginner tarot, okay? I have to run as well. No problem. I'll find some photos. Yes, please do, Xanthia. I can't wait to see them. Try Home Goods. Yes, Home Goods is awesome. That's, I think, the ceramic ones I got at Home Goods. All right, perfect. Okay, guys, this was a fun one. I like this area a lot. It's hard for me to do it down here a lot because my poor husband gets kicked out of the living room, but I don't mind kicking him out once in a while, especially when he has to work nights. He should be sleeping a little. All right, guys, blessings. Have a great day tomorrow. Wear something sparkly. Do I still have sparkles? A little bit. Wear something sparkly to get yourself in a positive mental attitude for, before the holidays comes. Let's try to all be positive before they come. Okay? Yay! Night. Thanks, everybody. Blessings. And yes. Oh, my goodness. And go vote. If you're in America, for goodness sakes, go vote tomorrow. Please go vote. Bye, guys.